Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 80, How do I teach you? The elders from the Teacher Guild were of similar positions to the leaders from the Ministry of Education in Zhang Xuan's previous world. They possessed the authority to revoke the position of the teachers of an academy. Elder Mo, seeing how we were friends for so many years, please spare me. Upon hearing the punishment, Shang Chen hurriedly said. At this moment, he felt his world crumbling. He was the one who got Elder Mo here. The initial intention was to have him strip Zhang Xuan of his teaching license, yet he only managed to crush his own legs with the boulder he moved. In the end, he was the one who was fired. Can the situation not be so damned? It's all your fault, you spoiled brat. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. Looking at Shang Bin, he couldn't help but want to rush forward to send 2 kicks towards him to alleviate his rage. If not for this fellow being so adamant to bring trouble onto Zhang Xuan, he wouldn't have gotten into trouble. Now, not only did the other party get away scot-free and he was relieved of his duty, most importantly of all, his reputation was in the gutters. It was to be expected that once the news of him oppressing other teachers and changing their results on a whim spread out, he would become a hated figure, one scorned by everyone else. He did not do it, but someone had to believe his words first. Of all people, you choose to do your own grandfather in. Spare you? Elder Shang, it is precisely because of our years of friendship that I have already spared you of your dignity. Otherwise, if I were to report you of oppressing your colleagues to the Teacher Guild, it is likely that you would be stripped of your teaching license as well. Elder Mo harumphed coldly. You better keep yourself in check from now on. Elder Shang knew what the other party was saying was true. Weakness surged through his body and he slumped onto the floor, sorrowful as though he had lost his parents. Zhang Lishi, we have troubled you today. For such a scum to appear among the teachers is a negligence on the Teacher Guild's part. After dealing with the trio, Elder Mo turned to look at Zhang Xuan with an apologetic look. Don't worry about it. It is normal for 1 or 2 degenerates to appear occasionally. Zhang Xuan waved his hand to show that he wasn't bothered by it. Seeing his attitude, everyone felt impressed with him yet again. Did you see that? That is the magnanimity that a teacher should have. Great, then I will be returning to the guild to settle these matters. I will make sure to give Zhang Lishi an explanation on the situation. After which, Elder Mo glared hatefully at Elder Shang Chen for a moment before turning around to leave. Zhang Lishi, let's go as well. You still have yet to teach me painting. At this moment, Cao Xiong was being beaten to the point of nearing death. Upon seeing the situation here had been settled, Bai Sun walked up to him with a grin. All right? Nodding his head, Zhang Xuan walked out of the Enlightenment Will Tower along with the rest. To tell the truth, he barely scraped past this situation safely. Were it not for the Wan clan, Bai Sun, and Huang Yu's timely arrivals, even if he could handle the situation, it would have taken him a lot of effort. Especially with the matter regarding Zhao Yanfen. Actually, he wasn't entirely truthful about his situation. What Zhao Yanfen suffered from wasn't innate sealed meridians, but innate narrow meridians. Innate narrow meridians, using the words of his previous life, meant that while others are an 8-car lane, you are a bicycle track. With such narrow meridians, it was natural that he would feel his body ripping apart when spiritual energy flowed through. In fact, his speed of cultivation would slow significantly, creating an upper limit onto his future achievements. However, there was an inherent difference between it and innate sealed meridians. The former, innate sealed meridian, was similar to having all kinds of nails along one's path, blocking the flow of spiritual energy entirely. On the other hand, innate narrow meridians, even though one's meridians were narrow, spiritual energy was able to flow through it, allowing one to cultivate without a problem. His cultivation going berserk did widen his narrow meridians, allowing him to cultivate even more easily. That was precisely the reason why his cultivation soared, allowing him to reach Juxi realm pinnacle. However, that incident also caused tremendous damage to his body. Juxi realm pinnacle was already his limit then. It was impossible for him to break through. In order to make it up for the other party, Zhang Xuan made a move to help him break through. At the same time, he also cleared away the trauma his previous self had left in his body, killing two birds with one stone. At the very least, after this incident, no one would use this berserk incident against him anymore. As for how he successfully helped Zhao Yanfen break through, actually the theory behind it was simple. After flipping through all the books in the Compendium Pavilion, he had already formed the 1 Dan, 2 Dan, and 3 Dan of Heaven's Path divine art. After cultivating it himself last night, he was well aware of the correct method to breaking through. Furthermore, given the superior quality Genkai in his body, it wasn't a difficult task for him to guide the other party to walk on the correct path to break through. From now on, I am no longer in danger of being expelled. With the burden off his heart, he heaved a sigh of relief. After transcending over, he had been in danger of expulsion. Even after he accepted several students, he still felt as though there were ominous clouds looming over him. However, at this moment, this threat had been entirely removed. Walking out of the Enlightenment Will Tower, he gave permission for Wang Yan to listen in on his class, just like Wang Tao, and only then did the Wang clan leave. As for Zhao Yanfen, he stared at Zhang Lishi. Clearly, Zhang Xian's capabilities have moved him and he hoped to be accepted under his tutelage once more. However, Zhang Xian immediately rejected this suggestion. What a joke. I am a transcender with a golden finger, someone who will become a master teacher sooner or later. If I allow people to come under me and leave as they please, wouldn't that trample on my dignity? My previous self had left you berserk, whereas I have made it up to you by helping you break into Fighter 2 Dan. Our grudges have been settled, and I don't want to touch on that ever again. Rejected by Zhang Xian, depression reflected on Zhao Yanfen's face. However, after a while, he seemed to recall something and resolution appeared in his eyes once more. Turning around, he followed behind Wang Yan and left. Huang Yuziaja, may I know how one becomes an associate master teacher? Walking along the way, Zhang Xian couldn't resist asking her. After this incident, he realized that the only way to create his own place in this world and to not be trampled over by others was to become a master teacher. To become a master teacher, one had to become an associate master teacher first. Associate master teacher is more like a way to address someone. Unlike master teacher, one doesn't need to be assessed for it. It mainly depends on luck. As long as a master teacher has set his eyes on you and invites you to be his assistant, then you are already considered an associate master teacher. Huang Yu explained. Oh. Zhang Xian nodded his head. Actually, this associate master teacher was similar to the associate professors in his previous life. Even though they did not wield true authority and they were more like a spokesperson, they represented the dignity of a master teacher and possessed esteemed standing in society. You are an associate master teacher, then that bookstore. Zhang Xian looked at her doubtfully. He was astonished to hear that Huang Yu is an associate master teacher. Previously, when he saw that she was able to freely walk in and out of Master Lu Chen's residence, he knew that her identity was extraordinary. Just that, he didn't expect her identity to be so extraordinary. Furthermore, as an associate master teacher, her identity was even more prestigious than the elders of Hongtian Academy. There was no reason for her to open a remote bookstore in the market. I happened to catch Lu Shi's eye and became his associate master teacher, but as I am still way too young, I require some experience so as to better earn the trust of others. As such, I listened to Lu Shi's orders and chose a packed commercial city to open a small store so as to nurture my character. At the same time, I am also able to read more and become more knowledgeable. Huang Yu explained. She is similar to Lu Shi, just a shorter version. Zhang Xian nodded his head. Peering into the truth of matters was a field of knowledge by itself, and building rapport was a skill with great depth. Never underestimate small shop owners. Sometimes, these were the people who have the greatest understanding of human personality, unrivaled even by experts and academics. Sometimes, the best way to understand human nature and temper oneself was to go to the very bottom. As the daughter of the Teacher Guild's leader, Huang Yu was born with a golden spoon in her mouth. The reason why Lu Shi had asked her to do so was to groom her, as well as to give her more worldly experience. After chatting for a while, he gained a certain degree of understanding towards master teachers and associate master teachers. In this world, the path of teachers was highly respected. Teachers were highly regarded, even much more so than in his previous life. What apothecary, blacksmith, appraiser. Of the numerous occupations in the upper 9 paths, none of them could compare with master teachers. However, that was to be expected. Whether it's about cultivation or any other occupations, one required a teacher to guide them along. If one didn't even respect their teachers, how could they possibly improve? Right, what is Master Lu Qian testing you all on, for you all to have to study under me? After comprehending the social position of teachers, Zhang Xuan listed another one doubt that was lingering in his head. Bai Sun was the young son of Zhenyi's Wang, whereas Huang Yu was the daughter of the guild leader of the Teacher Guild, not to mention that she herself was an associate master teacher. Logically speaking, given their social positions, there shouldn't be any need for them to be tested by anyone else. Master Lu Qian has a painting that he has hidden for countless years called the Ink Daily Canvas. The both of us want it, that's why Master intentionally set such a difficult question to evaluate us. Huang Yu explained. Ink Daily Canvas? Zhang Xuan frowned. The one drawn by the master painter Mo Chenzi, Ink Daily Canvas? Neither of you two understand paintings. Why would you want it? In the books Zhang Xuan looked through in the compendium pavilion, there were many records of this Ink Daily Canvas. It was said to be an artistic treasure left behind by a master painter a century ago. It was an incomparably valuable painting. It is a gift. Huang Yu blushed. Gift. Zhang Xuan came to a realization. She and Bai Sun had set their eyes upon this Ink Daily Canvas at the same time and requested Master Lu Qian for it. The master agreed to gift it to them, but the prerequisites for it was that they had to pass his test first. The supposed test should refer to appraisal of paintings. Master Zhang, you have such deep understanding of painting, capable of seeing through the problems in it with just a glance. Can you teach us? Bai Sun stared expectantly at him. Indeed, please teach us. Huang Yu also looked over. Teach you too? The reason why he was able to appraise those paintings was due to the help of the Library of Heaven's Path. In reality, he didn't know a single thing about paintings, so how could he teach them? Looking at the expectant gazes of the two, Zhang Xuan awkwardly scratched his head, unsure of what he should do. End of the first arc.